we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
we said we said we're gonna take a little breaky break, and then we were gone for months.
Listen, we say that we was going to take a little break, right?
Mm,
It wasn't little.
no, it was long.
Yeah. No, it was definitely long.
Life
But
happened.
we're back. A lot of things happened in the music industry while we were gone.
Yeah,
And a lot of things that we wanted to discuss as well.
mainly music though, because like the other
Yeah.
stuff for other episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like for me, what was really interesting while we were on our break was following Spice's journey with music, because she created a lot of new stuff and she was doing like a lot of new things and she had like a lot of opportunities that came her way. But also what was interesting is the VMAs. That's like a huge thing that
Listen.
did not get the chance to talk about on the podcast because we were
On a
on
breaky
our
break.
vacay.
Yeah.
But I guess the highlight of the VMAs was Nikki being the Vanguard Award recipient.
Yeah.
And that was like I think huge for her.
Mm-hmm.
And the VMAs was actually held on the 29th of August, if I
Yeah.
could remember correctly. Yeah. And Nicki Minaj was the host along with LL Cool J and Jack Harlow. It's so weird because I saw more of Nicki than LL Cool J and Jack Harlow. Did you watch the VMAs, by the way?
No.
because
But I read all the stuff about it, but like I didn't actually watch it because like MTV events irritate me. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have like whatever, man. It's like MTV. The MTV events are on par with the Billboard Awards for me, and they both irritate the shit out of me.
I'm asking because I'm like talking about it, and you're like, I'm like, this did not. I'm like, you did not watch the VMAs.
I didn't.
You did not. You know,
didn't.
I was actually not gonna watch it either. But when I heard that Nikki was getting the Video Vanguard Award, I was like, you know what? Let me look at it because usually the recipient performs before they receive the award. So I'm like, let me see what she's gonna perform. Let me get into this performance. So that's the only reason why I watched it. But while I was watching it, it was so interesting to see the dynamic of the music industry. Like so many things have changed. You know, like it's like before we were looking at these mainstream artists who we grew up with, you know, to know and love, like Beyonce, Rihanna, of course, Nicki, Jay-Z, who else? I don't know. But you know what I mean?
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. And it's like it's like artists who we grew up with versus like the artists that are here now. They're like, I don't want to say new, but it's still
but
like
they are.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say new, but they are still new, and we're like kind of getting adjusted to them. Like Lil Nas X, Doja Cat. I mean, they've been there, but it's like they're on the mainstream level now, where now we are now trying to get accustomed to them.
Yeah,
you know. So that was very interesting for me. And another interesting thing or interesting things that happened at the VMA was that Bad Bunny got Artist of the Year, which was cool.
Yeah, that was cool as shit.
I'm not gonna lie though, his marketing team is like, they are doing the things, like they are really pushing him, and I'm like, yes, this is what.
He's also like streaming beast. He like I think currently he just like is right there at the top of most streamed artists.
Yeah, because I was
every album, bitch.
Yeah, I was actually reading an article and I saw his name like being in the list of most streamed artists, and I'm like, okay, that's good for you. Good for you.
He's doing the damn thing.
So one of the things that were very interesting at the VMAs was the nominations for Song of the Summer. And a lot of people were upset that Jack Harlow won Song of the Summer with First Class.
I'm a lot of people. It's me.
Yes.
I'm a hater. Of that song in particular, not of Jack Harlow. I really don't know him like that. But
yeah, so a lot of people were upset because he won Song of the Summer with First Class, and people were like, yeah, Jack Harlow won Song of the Summer with First Class, but Burna is over here with Last Last. And I'm like, okay, but when was Last Last released though? Do you know?
I don't know. Should I Google it?
I feel like it only like kind of I don't want to say blow up, but I feel like it only was like getting traction like in the like months below.
It's because his album came out properly in the summer, and Last Last is also on the album, and I guess more people caught on to it when the album came out. But it was basically the pre-release for the album. Last Last was like the lead single, essentially.
Okay. But also, other nominations were from Rosalia. What was the name of the song? That song that they're doing a trend on TikTok. Hold on, before I say it wrong. Bizcochito.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would have never remembered that title.
Yeah, I got the name of the song. And also Doja was also was nominated for Song of the Summer with Vegas. That's a very... Yeah. That song, like, it was all over as well. Like, all over TikTok, all over Instagram reels, everywhere. Like, all over. So, I mean, like, I want to know how close it was.
Was that a fan-voted award?
Probably. I don't know, but I feel so, though, because it's Song of the Summer, so...
I need to look it up, because if it's fan voted, that's even weirder to me. I don't know, like, I don't know why, because I was like, who's voting for Jack Harlow? not to be a hating bitch.
Well, probably Lil Nas X fans, because I mean,
I guess.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, his marketing team is like Bad Bunny too. So I'm like, you know.
Let me see. No, I don't feel like googling it. It feels long.
Yeah, and moving back to Nicki, before she received the Video Vanguard Award, she performed songs like Chung Lee, Bees in a Trap, Moment for Life, Super Bass, like all her hits, and I'm like, yes.
I have to watch her performance. I actually haven't seen it yet. It's been on my watch later for literally weeks and weeks. Yeah,
what was very fun for me, or was a proud moment watching Nicki's performance, is that a dancer that was dancing for Nicki is actually from St. Martin.
Oh!
Yeah, and I know him. And he posted it on Instagram. And I was like, what? He's dancing for Nicki? That's like so cool. And then when I watched it, I saw him in the back. I was like, okay. That's like, it was like a proud moment, because I'm like, because I know him. And I know a bit about his journey, you know, with dance. So like to see him like on this big stage, like with Nicki, I'm like, you know, this is so cool. I know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
That does sound cool.
Okay, wait, so that's my little update with news. That VMAs, was interesting for me, the VMAs. What stood out to you the most when we were on a break with music?
Listen, because we were on a break, right? I wasn't paying attention to like actual industry stuff, because I was like, I'm on a little breaky break. Yeah. So I don't have to care right now.
Yeah.
So I really just focused on actual like just music. I listened to a lot. Like when I say a lot, I mean I listened to a lot of music during that break. So much so that I don't even remember everything that I listened to, but I was listening to everything and everybody and their grandmas at this point. I was like, Jesus, maybe relax. Relax with the music consumption. But there were like a few albums and instances and stuff that really, really stood out to me throughout our little break period, where I was like, hold on, we need to talk about these things because they're really good. So I divided my shits into two little parts. Yeah. So like the one part is about the girls. The girls in music that released while we were on a breaky break, whose albums I was like, let's talk about it. And then the other thing is my little BTS corner, because so much happened in that side of life that it required its own little its own little moment. But I guess let's go into the albums that we enjoyed, since that's where we at right now, and I'll talk about the girls. Yeah. And you can do the whoever you have.
So for me, there were multiple albums I enjoyed. First of all, Drake albums was like such a surprise.
Wasn't it?
Genre-wise,
I was so pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised that he released an album, and I was also surprised like on the genre, because I was like, this is different.
And like the reaction, at least for me, was so strange, because so many people were like, why would he do that? And
Yeah.
like, why does it sound like that? Well, at least because when the album came out, I was in the US. I was in Florida at the
Yeah.
time that the album came out. So I got to see like the American reaction to the album. And like a lot of people asked me about it because I was there.
Yeah.
And they know what I do. And I was like, guys, it's a fun album. I enjoyed it because it was very nostalgic for me personally.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Namibia and then moved to South Africa. So that's the type of music that was normal for me every day. And I understood that for the US, people were a bit like, what?
Shook. They're like, what is this? Because I was doing a bit of research on it, and the genre is actually house with a bit of Baltimore club influences in there, but it also includes elements like Jersey club, hard techno, R&B, amapiano, ballroom, and of course with a little bit of Drake's, traditional style of hip hop. But like to have that kind of amapiano and house and ballroom kind of thing in it, I was like, okay, this is different.
Because like I feel like we have to mention, because it was produced by Black Coffee.
Yeah.
And Black Coffee is a South African house DJ and producer. Yeah. So I'm not sure what people were expecting here. You know what I mean?
It was like, it's obvious.
I was confused by the reaction because they were like, it sounds like, okay, the one thing that I'll give people is that they were like, it just sounds like Drake featuring on a Black Coffee track. And I was like, I think that was a little bit the point.
Yeah.
I mean, why would he let Black Coffee produce the whole album if it's not going to sound like a Black Coffee production? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's fine that that's what his album sounded like. That's clearly what he wanted. If that sound was so cohesive throughout every single track.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, this is nostalgic for me. I'm used to this like collaboration between rappers and like South African house producers and DJs and stuff. Because like I grew up listening to it, so
exactly.
I was like, again.
And the album was actually dedicated to the late fashion designer Virgil
Abloh.
Yeah, he was, like I read, he was very close with Drake, and he also loved house music. So it was sort of like, like a tribute dedication album to him, which I thought was cool because
and I think it was fitting.
He nailed it. Yeah, he definitely nailed it. So yeah, that was the album. And like Drake had a little songs on it. I was like, what? Especially Calling My Name. I was like, what did you say?
What did you say?
Your what is calling what?
So I was like, sir, this is a family show.
Hello. But no, that was very interesting. It's a good song regardless. And I also liked Massive, because Massive is more of like a I don't know, it's giving very house, but it's giving very Vogue as well. Because like it was like trending on TikTok for a while, with people doing like voguing to it and a lot of different things. I'm like, okay, this is a vibe. This is getting some traction. I mean, the song was made to do something and it's doing the things. So yeah. So yeah, Drake, you did a good job.
Yeah, a little, and it's like he did exactly what I've been begging him to do for like 3 albums.
She's like, I begged him.
I say this like I know him personally.
She's
and
like,
I went
I begged
after
him
and I was like, Drake, please switch the vibes.
She's like, I begged him. You guys gotta thank me because
you're welcome. I feel like I manifested this because I've been a hater for the past like 2 albums at least. I've been a hater.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this just sounds the same as any previous album that he's done. So I really appreciated the switch up. I think it was like a real moment of just like a break from the typical Drake albums that we get.
Definitely. Because even with me in the beginning, I was like, I don't know, but then when I kept listening, I was like, okay, no, it has something, it has a vibe, it's different, and I appreciate, artists that try different things and take risks with their music, because I mean, like, hey, we don't want the same thing, even though the same thing works, like I don't think we don't want that all the time,
Yeah.
And you, which album you were listening to?
One of the albums that I put down here is Traumazine by Megan Thee Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
So she released Traumazine on August 12th
Mm-hmm.
of this year, obviously. And the genre is hip hop.
Yeah.
It's like
Period.
Megan Thee Stallion's a
That's
rapper.
Megan. Yeah.
Yeah. Just as my own thoughts about the album, I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I listened to it the whole way through a few times now. I like it, and I like the direction that she went in with this album, where it was more so a reflection of the things that she was going through, especially around the time that she was making the album. Like, when I went to research it, that was exactly her intention, because she said that she normally sings or writes about what she wants to be experiencing in the moment rather than what she actually is experiencing.
Yeah.
But she switched it up with this album, and she was like, you know what, let me actually just be open and honest.
Yeah.
And it really
awesome.
reflected in her songs. There's so many like dope tracks in there and really dope features as well. I just think that she did a really, really good job. And like, for me personally, my highlights in the album are Not Nice, Budget featuring Lotto, Her, which like, come now.
Her gives
It's like
gives
a
the
house
vocals.
tune.
Yeah.
House tune. It's so fun. It's
Yeah.
such a fun song. And
Yeah.
then Scary featuring Rico Nasty.
Mm.
But yeah, we all know I really fuck with Megan. I'm a
Yeah.
fan. I
Yes,
love what
for
she
sure.
does.
For sure.
I love her flow. I love her lyricism. She's also very witty and like on occasion funny. Like I sometimes take screenshots of specific parts of her lyrics just to send to my brother and be like, Megan's so out of pocket. Because sometimes she really says the darnest things in her songs, and I
Yeah.
just, you know, I just enjoy her. I enjoy her a lot, and I hope she's happy and healthy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Another album. Well, I haven't listened to the album fully. I just listened to a few songs. But another album, I should say, that was like, okay, yes, good for you, was Lizzo's album. Special.
Yeah.
When she released About Damn Time. Did she release the song only, or did she release the song with the video? I can't remember how she did it.
She released the song and the video on the same day.
It was the same day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember watching the video and being introduced to this new song. So, yeah. So, Lizzo's album was actually released on the 15th of July, 2022. I was going to say 23, but we're not there yet.
Relax, first of all.
Yeah. And About Damn Time, which is the lead single on the album, was released on April 14th. And it peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Yes.
Exactly.
So,
Deserved.
yeah, deserved. Lizzo usually makes great music, and Lizzo is all about like that kind of funk, pop, disco kind of vibes,
Exactly.
So I'm like, this is very much Lizzo. This is what she does. And the album has 12 tracks, and 2 being bonus tracks, 1 being a Japanese version of About Damn Time. I was like, okay, I gotta listen to that.
I haven't heard it yet, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then the other bonus is an Apple Music bonus, which is titled "A Very Special Message from Lizzo." So I don't really know what that's about.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. So I'm
definitely curious though about the Japanese track.
Same.
And overall, the album just got positive reviews.
Yeah,
I'm like, where can you go
like,
wrong with Lizzo?
Yeah, and it's also just like a very good vibes album. You know what I mean? Like it's clearly a moment of growth for Lizzo, like in terms of personally and in the self-love journey and whatever. And what I really appreciate about her album is that she highlights that it's not a linear journey to appreciating yourself and loving yourself.
That's so true.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed the vibe of the album. I was like, this is a cute little moment in pop music. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, Lizzo, Miss Ma'am. But Lizzo also, cool. So far, she hasn't released an album that I haven't enjoyed. So I was really just expecting to have fun listening, and I did. And
it's weird because I don't typically listen to the type of music that Lizzo makes, but I'll definitely listen to Lizzo and like it.
Yeah.
So she makes good music, definitely.
She does, and it's always like so fun.
Yeah,
and she always makes her performances and stuff as well so enjoyable.
Yeah, it was.
I just like I always think about the concert we went to.
Yeah,
because Lizzo is so fun live.
She is, and I was so waiting for my favorite song, which is Tempo that she had.
Listen,
I was waiting for that song. Yeah. I was like, Lizzo, drop the song on the stage,
and she did it.
I was like,
let's go.
Talking about. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So my next album of our breaky break is of course Renaissance by Miss Beyonce. Like that's how my grandma says Beyonce, deadass though.
She says it like that.
Yeah, she says Beyonce.
Oh my god, she says Beyonce. Beyonce also surprised us with this album, though. Okay, no.
Hello.
Like we knew it was coming.
Break My Soul.
Right, we knew it was coming because she did the little promotion thingy thing. But the genre as well, I'm like, okay, is everyone going in this direction?
The genre was a big surprise for me. So let's get into Renaissance or whatever. So it was released July 29th, 2022. The genre is dance, house, disco, pop vibes.
That's what it is.
Exactly. It was conceptualized and recorded during the pandemic. And it's meant to inspire joy and confidence in everybody after what was an extended period of isolation, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's just to bring the people back some happiness. And the album itself also pays homage to the Black queer community who pioneered house and disco music. And in fact, it uses a lot of samples and interpolation from said Black queer community. Lyrically, the album expresses a lot of escapism, hedonism, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And overall, it's just a really upbeat situation. Everybody's outside, summer's here, the pandemic restrictions have lifted.
Yeah,
it's still going on, but the restrictions are lifted.
Yeah.
So maybe have some fun a little bit. And it just honestly, it exceeded my expectations because for Beyonce, your expectations are always elevated as fuck, which isn't necessarily fair, but it is what it is at this point. We just expect the best from Beyonce, and at this point, she gave the best of the best of the best. You know what I mean? It was just, it was a lot of fun. I normally don't like entire albums, but I literally every single song that came on, I clicked the little heart on Spotify. I was
my god,
ooh. The whole album is just heart. I was like, how did you do that?
And what I like about Beyonce is the fact that she uses, she gives people opportunities. If you're, because the person that she used for Break My Soul, with the stuff that you hear in the back, is Big Frida.
Yeah.
And Big Frida, this is not the first time Big Frida worked with Beyonce. Big Frida also worked with Beyonce on Lemonade.
Yeah.
Especially for Formation. So I was like, this is awesome because I don't know, people would think okay, Beyonce would be like, oh no, I don't want you on the album, or I don't want you on the album, or but it's no, come share. Because I want that vibe, because Big Frida was saying because he's from New Orleans and it's part of Beyonce's background, she wanted that kind of vibe on the track. And I'm like, yes, this is what it's about with music,
exactly.
Bring that vibe, and I think as an artist, it's nothing better than hearing, the vibes or the
a good collaboration,
a good collaboration, and especially if it's infused with something, from your background or from your history or from home or whatever, so that was awesome.
It was really cool. And I remember reading that Beyonce interview. What magazine was it that did that interview? Was it Vanity Fair? No, I don't remember what magazine it was, but it was the only interview she did. She was saying that she's now moved away because the pandemic, she said, changed her mindset basically, especially pertaining to her music. So she said that she is moving, or decided to move away from focusing on her legacy and maintaining the status as the queen of pop music and whatnot, and into what makes her happy and what brings her joy. And with this album in particular, she wanted to give a voice to the community that she's always been in and around, because she had a queer uncle and cousin, and they welcomed her into their world and into their circles and stuff. So she wanted to pay homage and just like give back to communities that have given her so much, which you can tell that she's had like a shift musically. And I enjoy that shit. I enjoy watching musicians evolve, even when they're already at the top of their game. When they just decide that, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna have fun. I love that shit.
And I was just about to say, I feel like Rihanna is also gonna come with that same direction, because she's already thinking of creating a reggae album. Like when she started off, she created a reggae album. She started off with a reggae album because her number one song when she started off was Pon de Replay. And Pon de Replay came from a reggae album, which was Music of the Sun. So I feel like with this reggae album that she's trying to go to now, if she still goes through with it, it will be like going back to her roots, and it will be something I think that genuinely makes her happy. Because when she used to live in Barbados, based on one of her interviews, she listened to a lot of reggae music as well. So I feel like
it's literally like a callback to her upbringing and stuff. So I'm excited for that. Whenever she releases it, I hope she don't take too long. Listen, doesn't. The truth of the matter is that it doesn't matter when she releases the shit. We're gonna eat it up.
We're gonna eat it up. We're gonna be here, but she needs to like hurry up, because like
she's a mother.
Okay, I understand that, but why is she going to the studio? It's my turn?
I believe so.
Okay, so for me, I have one more album that I was listening to, which is Emancipated by Spice. Queen of Dancehall. Let's talk about it.
Listen, we've exchanged enough messages about this album and the whole thing surrounding it.
The whole thing surrounding it, because I'm like, people are unfair. But anyway, so Emancipated was released in August, on the 26th of August. And the lead single for this album was a song called Clap Clap. It's a very vibrant, upbeat, song. And I felt like she make it especially for the summer, because it was released in July. And knowing Spice usually creates music that invokes a feeling, either if you just want to dance, if you just want to scream, if you just want to feel good. Like, she makes that song, because there is a song on the album called Crop Top. I'm like, this is the song, Crop Top.
Yeah, like, Spice gives you so many like dance worthy tunes. Like every album, there's like more than half of that album you can have such a good time to.
Yeah, definitely. And what I loved for her with this album is that the album, so for Spice's album, I was really happy for her, because the album went number 1 in the UK and the US on iTunes, in the reggae genre. So I was really happy about that and proud, because I mean, she's from the Caribbean as well, and I follow her through her journey, in music. So I loved that for her. The album was also number 14 worldwide on iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good, bitch. That's top 20 shits.
Because Beyonce, I believe, was number 12. I'm like, look at Spice just right there below Beyonce.
And it looks so good.
Listen, and the album was also number 1 on Amazon under the international section for new releases.
Nice.
And the album was number 7 on Billboard in the reggae genre as well. So I'm like, you're doing the things.
She did well.
You did so good with this album. And the album is called Emancipated because she feels like she's emancipated from the record deal that she was in. Because remember the whole story of her being in a record deal, being signed to a record label and having a horrible deal with the label and them not wanting to like release music and stuff like that. And she was like, it's been 10 years, since she's been signed and have not released an album. And now she finally did it with the album 10 that she did. But this album is called Emancipated because she's no longer in a recording contract with the label, and she's now an independent artist, making music on her own, doing the things
There
on
you
her own.
go. There you go.
And she's like, I'm emancipated. That's why this album is called Emancipated, because I'm free from this recording deal. I'm an independent artist, doing my own things, making my own decisions, not feeling trapped. So that's why she named it Emancipated, because she feels like she's like broken out of this thing that kept her,
in a box.
held back in a box for so long, for years. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get the whole concept. I get the whole vibe, because the cover of the album is literally her with like chains in her hand, like being broken. I'm like, yes, talk about it. It looks so good.
Yeah,
it looks so good. Yeah. And what I wanted to mention is there's a song on the album called Tape Measure. And this song caused a bit of drama. Because she released a very raw, explicit, uncut video on Twitter. And it stirred things up a bit, and people were upset. And I'm like, y'all, chill out. This is her brand.
No, really, chill out.
This
like,
is her
honestly,
brand. Like,
you sent it to me because you were like, hello, and my response was also hello, and then I was like, is this legal? Because genuinely, I was like, is it? Is it legal?
No, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is a lot. But
it's
then
gonna
I was like,
ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, I was like, this is a lot, but it's still Spice's brand. So I'm like,
and it was effective.
It was definitely
was
effective.
Everybody not talking about it.
Hello,
everybody was talking about it. It was effective.
She got 2 million views like in 24 hours. With Spice's whole situation, people were like, yeah, it's so tasteless and it's so uncreative and it's like lack of this and unprofessional and lack of respect.
Yeah, but
and
that's
I'm like,
that's just pretending that other people haven't done it also.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's your opinion.
This isn't the first time and it's not going to be the last time.
Right. I'm like, okay, that's your opinion, but also, let's be real though. How many people in the music industry don't do shit like this? The only difference is that Spice is doing it raw. She's like literally showing it to you directly. Yeah, uncensored. But other people like hide it, censor it. They like cover it up. They like fix it into lyrics. They like kind of like hide it in music videos. And Spice is like, no, this is what it is. This is what I sing. Here it is. You know what I mean? So I'm like, why?
And like, also, Spice's lyrics are normally explicit and normally sexual in nature. So why this came as a shock to people, I'm not sure. Like, I mean, granted, when I watched the video, I was like, because I was like, that's scandalous. I was like, ma'am, in this economy, you know what I mean? But it was a reaction like that. I wasn't like, how dare she? I was just like, all right, it's not for me. Clearly, it's not for me. But like, okay. It was effective because I talked about it afterwards. You know what I mean? So it did its job. It
did its job for sure.
It's giving Lady Gaga meat dress. Just explicit. You know what I mean?
Explicit. So that was Spice. Yeah, and you, what is your last?
Do you want to ask that for real though? We're gonna be here for another 20 minutes,
girl.
I'm about to talk everybody's ear off because we're going into BTS corner, and if you know me, you know this is my domain. This is my shit. And the thing about BTS is that they've been so booked and busy that literally so many things have happened since we started our break. First and foremost, they released an anthology album, which if people listening don't know what an anthology album is, it's basically a collection of their career's work. So they released that on June 10th, 2022. Yeah. It's a mix of many genres because the songs span their 9-year career. So you've got hip hop, you've got pop, you've got all the things happening. And it was a 3-disc anthology. So it wasn't a small body of work. It was huge. I mean, also granted, 9 years of work, you'd expect something large. So it was 3 separate discs, and they also had 3 new songs on top of the 3 separate discs, so 1 new song per disc.
Oh wow.
And basically how the discs were grouped was that the first disc was basically a highlight reel of their career from debut to now being the new song. So the album actually started with a track called Born Singer, which was previously technically unreleased because they just put it on SoundCloud. It wasn't an official release. They made that song just after they had debuted. And it actually samples Born Sinner by J. Cole.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first disc starts with that song and ends with the new song, which is called Yet to Come, and then in brackets, The Most Beautiful Moment. And Yet to Come is like a song that's basically a promise that the future brings more and better and brighter.
Yeah.
And then the second disc serves as like a little showcase of what each member kind of brought to the table throughout the 9-year career. So they each picked 2 songs.
That's cool.
A solo song and then like a unit song or 2 unit songs or 2 solo songs, really depended on the member. A unit song is like when some of them participated in a song together. So not all 7, just like a few of them. So yeah, that was the second disc, and then that disc ended with the new track called Run BTS, which is frankly my favorite off of the anthology. Which Run BTS is basically their career, like it's them talking about sprinting through their career, getting all the accomplishments that they got, just like running the whole time. It's fun and it's so fire. I've never heard anything like that from BTS. It is kind of reminiscent of like their start, but it's also completely fresh and completely new. Like it gave a lot of good shit in that song in particular. Did I say that the disc ends with Run BTS? It starts with Run BTS. I was talking shit. I was talking big shit. It starts with Run BTS, which is a whole group song, and then it goes into the 2 tracks that each member selected. Yeah. And then disc 3, which is very fun, I thought it was like super fun, was that it's just a disc filled with demos. So demo versions of songs that they did end up releasing, demo versions of songs that they never released.
That is so cool.
An a cappella version of a song here, then like a J-Hope version of a song over there. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like stuff that we've never really heard before. So that was like really fun to explore as well. Because you're like, first of all, there were 2 songs in there that I was like, why the fuck didn't you release this?
Yeah.
I was like, sirs? What the hell?
Things like that is always fun to explore, especially if you're a fan of the artist. Like it's so cool to hear like what they've been working on that wasn't released and that was released, and how it sounded before it was released. And what didn't make it. Like you say, like, hello, you could have released this though. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. So it was just really cool. Disc 3 was just like really cool and really fun to listen to. And then also, I should mention that disc 3 was actually only included in the physical album. So disc 3 doesn't exist on Spotify.
Oh, wow.
But the new track that was on disc 3 is on Spotify. And that one is called For Youth, which is an homage to ARMY, which is their fan base. And the lyrics in For Youth do callbacks to lyrics in their older songs as well. So they really, really cohesively blended the old with the new. And the like timelessness of the moment, I guess, is what I would call it. Highlights wise for this album is basically like all the new songs. So Yet to Come, Run BTS, For Youth, and then Born Singer, because Born Singer, I think, is a very vulnerable and raw and open track of theirs because they did it so soon after debut. So their feelings were very much at like at a high. And it was like, you know, they worked towards a debut, and then the debut happened, and you know, the moment became very real for them, and they put it all into this track. And also, it's just a really beautiful sample of Born Sinner, and the fact that they got that shit cleared is crazy. So overall thoughts about the anthology album is just, generally for me, it's very much a thing of its pride on it, because it's, first of all, a huge accomplishment to be able to make an anthology album at all, especially with how young they are, because they're all in their 20s. They can already make an anthology album because they've already left that much of a legacy, which is crazy shit. And then second of all, it's a really solid way to get to know BTS and their music, what they're about, what their vision for their music has always been, what their ethos is as well as musicians, and just their general feelings towards every phase of their youth. And it also really showcases their musicality and how that changed over time and how it developed and grew and whatever. But the whole thing is just so well thought out, from the songs that they put first in the discs to the songs that they put last in the disc. It was just very, very well done. The physical album itself, I have it. It's huge. It's heavy. It's like this fat because there's like a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's also beautifully done. I was like, thank you. This is nice. I like collecting shit. So I was like, on the shelf it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just generally, I'm like, I hope they're proud of themselves. When they look at it and like actually see how much they've done, I hope that they like are like, you know what, killed it. Because they did. They killed it. So yeah, so they're transitioning a little bit into like little individual projects.
That's cool.
They said that it was specifically going to start with J-Hope. And with J-Hope, it did start.
Okay,
and like,
that's good.
Let me get into that.
Yeah.
Here I am moving the mic around again. I thought I left that in season 1. My stupid behavior continues. So, J-Hope. What, J-Hope,
J-Hope, he released music already?
He did. J-Hope released a full-length album.
Okay.
His debut studio album. It's called Jack in the Box. He released it on July 15th, 2022. The genre is old school hip hop. There were some like other subgenres going on in there as well, but the main genre was old school hip hop. And it's a concept album that revolves around the story of Pandora's Box, which is also the origin of his stage name of J-Hope. So it's a very, very cool concept. If you know the story of Pandora's Box and stuff, it's very, very interesting. And actually the album opens with an excerpt of Pandora's Box, of the story itself. Like voiceover lady person doing the storytelling, and then it goes into the rest of the album. And basically the album itself explores themes of passion, ambition, humanity, insecurity, success, and unease about the future, or what the future may bring, or what it might look like. And it's a true showcase of J-Hope as a musician.
Okay.
And J-Hope as a person, and also what he's trying to accomplish as well. And it's super fucking dope, because it's a honest look at like who he is as a person, which was a different side to what we normally saw from J-Hope in BTS. Because J-Hope is thought of as like, you know, the sunshine, the happy-go-lucky guy in BTS, which like that. I'm not saying that he's not like that. People say that he's like pretty much just a cheerful guy, but he's also got other sides to him, as most of us do. We're complex people. And this was just the first time that he let us in on that side of himself. So it's like super cool to see it. And also how long the process was for him, because he started working on this at the beginning of the pandemic. Was when he started working on the pre-released single of the album, and then it like turned into a whole album because he just kept working on stuff. The highlights of the album for me is the pre-release single, which is More, the lead single, which is Arson, and then 2 B-sides, one which is Equal Sign and one that is called What If. What If is interesting because it actually samples Shimmy Shimmy Ya by Old Dirty Bastard.
Okay.
Which is like a real hip hop throwback type shit. Like the album itself, you can see that it was made by somebody who truly understands the history of hip hop. So it was so fucking dope to see somebody who clearly put in the work to really understand the genre, to really respect the culture that it came from, and also make it his own, while creating something completely new, but also so familiar at the same time. I don't know. I feel like I just said a lot of words that didn't make sense, but you know what? Those were the vibes and those were the feelings.
Yeah.
Honestly, my only critique of the album was that it was too short.
Okay.
Because it was under half an hour, but there were 10 tracks, I think.
Okay.
10 tracks, 2 of which were like interlude and intro. It was just like it was too short, and I was like, "Sir,
Yeah.
give me more, please. Give me more, please. I just want more songs." But yeah, J-Hope is like incredibly skilled in terms of his lyricism. Yeah, it's easily one of my favorite albums of the summer, and that's not even just because it's J-Hope. I just think it was executed so well that I really can't fault it, and like. Neither can the music critics, because it's critically acclaimed. The people loved it, and I was like, as you should, because it was genuinely so well done. It was so cohesive, so seamless. It told a very cohesive story from like the beginning to like the like turbulent part in the middle, and then to like a nice little conclusion at the end. It was great. Nice. It was dope. J-Hope is a bad bitch. Yeah. I don't know how else to put it. J-Hope is just like a very much bad bitch. And then like my last little BTS corner situation. These guys have been in the studio because they've been doing collabs left, right, and center.
Okay.
So just to name the ones that are currently out, we have Psy featuring Suga. He actually also produced the track, and the track is called That. It's just very, very fun, very dope. Suga kills his verse. I like Psy, so I was just vibing a lot with the song. Then we have Charlie Puth featuring JK.
Okay.
And they did Left and Right. It's a nice little pop song. Very, very dope. Then we have Mr. Pop hit producer himself, Benny Blanco, featuring Snoop Dogg and BTS, which was like, whoa.
Yeah.
The people are like, whoa. It's a track called Bad Decisions. Also just like another cute little pop summer number. The music video is fucking funny.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's just a cute little summer track. And then there is Balming Tiger featuring RM on a track called Sexy Nukim.
Okay.
And listen, like Balming Tiger as a group, they themselves make music that like is wild. Not wild as in it's weird or anything like that, just wild as in you would never expect it. And it's just really interesting and really unique. And then they put RM on this track, and it was like, why didn't this happen sooner, actually? Because I like Balming Tiger, and I like RM and the way that he raps, and like his lyricism particularly I really enjoy. So it was very much a very cool mix. And then on Thursday, which is when this episode is coming out, so today, you have Crush featuring J-Hope on a track called Rush Hour. So they're very much booked and busy. Yeah, they haven't stopped. Now they're all in the studio working on their solo albums as well. Yeah, doing the damn thing. They have a concert coming up in October. They're busy. Booked and busy.
No, they are.
So anyway, that was me talking for half an hour.
Yeah.
I love over chatting about BTS. Like, really, stop giving me these opportunities. So I think that was it for both of us in terms of like all the music things that happened while we were on a break. And then
definitely.
So currently right now we're in our little small talk corner, but like the thing is that we normally ask each other a question, but we didn't think of any questions because we figured there was going to be enough chatting as it is,
because a lot of catching up to do.
Listen, because this recording is an hour and 16 minutes long. We've been chatting. So should we just do our 2 songs for the week and then and then peace out? So my first song is a song that I've already mentioned. It's Sexy Nukim by Balming Tiger and RM of BTS. That was released like just now, the other week. I don't remember the specific day right now. My brain is blanking and I don't feel like looking it up. But like I said, Balming Tiger is a very, very unique group. They do things their way, and I love that for them. And I love that they felt that RM was the missing piece to that track because they're correct. It's a fun song. So check it out.
Yeah. My first song that I was listening to a lot is Crop Top. I mentioned that earlier I was talking about Spice. So Crop Top by Spice. That song is just different. I don't know. It's different to music that Spice usually makes. Although it's still dance hall, and it's still the way that she sings on her stuff. The sound is just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, an artist can be the same artist on a song, but sometimes the sound, you know, of the song is different. So it just has a different sound. And I feel like production wise, it's really well put together. So that's right now one of my favorite songs, which I'm just listening to on repeat. Yeah, I think I know all the lyrics to the song right now. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember lyrics for shit anymore.
Yeah.
I really used to when I was younger, but now I'm like,
Yeah.
Can't do it. So my second song is called Safety Zone. It's by J-Hope. It's off his album. It's a really beautiful R&B type track that showcases, first of all, beautifully kind of sad lyrics, but also very dope vocals.
Yeah.
It's a really dope track. It's about him trying to find a place where he can just be himself. So a safe zone, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's dope. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Check the shits.
Yeah. My second song is Bubble It by Yemi Alade and Spice. So we've been waiting for this collab.
Listen.
And
because why did they give us that clip and then no date, no nothing? We just had to raw dog waiting like that.
I spoke it into existence because I'm like, I remember I told you, I was like, Kiki, Spice needs to collab with Yemi. Like, we need that collab.
Yes.
And it happened.
And then the little clip happened and then Chardonnay was like, hello. And I was like, sir.
It was just released. And it got I think it got 1 million views within 24 hours. And then
there you go.
It got 2 million views, I think, within 2 to 3 days.
Okay,
and it's still growing. But I'm like, as it should, because it is a song to be played. Yeah, I just love the fact that Spice is crossing over into the US market and also in different markets, but still being authentic, you know, to the brand Spice, still being authentic and remaining who she is and not having to change anything much, really. Maybe just adding on like a team or maybe tweaking a little things here and there, but still remaining true to herself, still remaining Spice that we know. And I love that for her, because oftentimes, like right now, there are other artists that are trying to make that transition, but are trying to change so much about themselves and their music. And I don't think it's going well. And the reason why I say I don't think it's going well, because I'm not hearing anything from them anymore. But I'm happy for Spice that she's crossed over in the US and is making a name for herself there. And now she's looking at different markets to cross over in. Even though she's known in Africa, I think this collab with Yemi is just going to make it, you know, even more bigger.
And the collab itself just makes a lot of sense. Like Spice and Yemi makes a lot of sense. I don't know why, but it works.
It does.
It's the things, it's the stuff.
It does. And I can see that Yemi really appreciated, you know, this coming together and like putting this song together and like, you know, putting it out there, because it's doing really well.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy because it's doing, not that I expected anything less, but it's doing like better than I thought it would. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we really did needed this collab, you know? Yeah. So
and it's a dope collab.
Yeah, it's a dope collab.
It's a fun song.
Yeah. So those are our songs.
We do have a little update. Announcement, a little update situation here. We are no longer going to do 2 episodes a week because we have lives.
Literally,
we have lives to go live. So we're not going to do 2 episodes a week anymore. We're doing 1 episode a week, and it's going to be every Thursday, 7 p.m. GMT. And that's that. So
that's that. Yeah. So
we have our little episode schedule or whatever going on already. We're we're going to talk about for the next like 12 weeks or whatever the fuck it is.
Definitely.
But
we have everything scheduled for you guys.
That's it. That was the update. It's Thursdays now.
Yeah, it's Thursdays. So
no more Mondays.
No more Mondays and Thursdays.
That was killing our vibe.
Yeah, no. Killing our vibe.
It was too much. Killing our vibe, consuming our whole weekend. We were too stressed. It was too much.
Yeah, no. So you're gonna
this was supposed to be a little fun thing.
Yeah, and it felt like.
But yeah, that's all.
That's all. we're gonna see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Where
Welcome back or whatever.
Our welcome back episode, catching up, updating you guys on everything. And yeah, we're gonna see you guys on Thursday with another new episode. I don't recall what we're gonna talk about, but it's in the schedule and it's gonna be interesting.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So,
okay.
See you guys Thursday. Bye.
Bye.